Now, as Tommy leaves New York after losing Ghost, Lakeisha, and the only city he's ever known, he makes a quick detour to close an old wound that's been haunting him for decades. What was supposed to be a quick stop turns into a labyrinth of family secrets and lies that Tommy thought were long buried. One step leads to another, and Tommy quickly finds himself in Chicago's drug game, inserting himself in between city's two largest crews. In a city divided by race, Tommy straddles the line, ultimately becoming the linchpin that not only unites them, but holds the power to watch them crumble. As the first season unfolds at breakneck speed, Tommy uses outsider status to his advantage, breaking all the local rules and rewriting them on his quest to become the biggest drug dealer in Chicago. So that's the official synopsis for Power Book 4 Force, which mainly focuses on Tommy. But we need to start at the beginning. At what point would we be picking up with Tommy? Because there's been a bit of confusion, but I think Tommy's answered that question for us. In one of the teasers, Tommy said, "Ain't you heard? I'm already dead." So it seems like Power Book 4 Force is going to be picking up after Power Book 2 Ghost, Season 1's finale. But will they ever reveal how Tommy found out about Tasha snitching on him, and his perspective of coming down to New York, and whether he met other characters, for example 2-Bit? Only time will tell. Even if it is discussed in a conversation with someone, I do think us fans and the audience need to know. But why Chicago out of all the places when Tommy said he was going to California?
Okay, listen. Tommy is on his way to California because of those ports. We all know that Jason, the Serbian mob boss, hooked him up with Rodolfo, so he's heading out to Cali. Now, he makes a pit stop in Chicago. Now, my lips are sealed on that. You're going to have to watch the pilot to find out why. But he is going to stay in Chicago as long as Chicago suits him. And how long is it going to suit him for? And is he going to build up too many enemies? Is he going to break it, or is he going to build it? That's the question to ask. But I think the backdrop, as far as backdrops go, Chicago is going to be a pretty amazing backdrop for Tommy, because it should be New York, right? Because it's a big city, a lot of similarities, but it is not the same. So you're in for a surprise.
So what we can take from this, and linking it back to the synopsis, is Tommy has family in Chicago, and he's someone who's met Gloria, that's going to be one of his love interests, and maybe Claude Flynn too, which we'll get to later on in the video. But let's talk about what we can expect from Tommy in Chicago, because he's someone who's lost a lot of loved ones, and there was nothing left for him in New York, apart from Tariq St. Patrick, even though their relationship was left on thin ice. I do believe Tommy is someone who has a very big heart for family, and he'd be there for him, but I'm not sure about Tasha, because we all know what happens to snitches in the world of power. And just recently, even Ray Ray in Tariq's hallucination scene even said, Tommy's gonna get Tasha. But now that he is in Chicago, we're gonna see him building from the bottom in real time, and working his way up as he did. He's his own boss. He's probably gone to Chicago with nothing apart from his car, a few burners, and some money. But what else? It's just Tommy. He's gonna have to get used to a new city with new rules, where he'll make new friends, enemies, and meet a new love interest. But for all those years, he's had Ghost by his side, who made a lot of the decisions for him, and he was a big part of his life as he grew up, because Ghost was the one who stood up for Tommy when he used to get bullied as a kid. Tommy Egan then took Ghost in and raised her as his own, and Tommy and Ghost, they grew up like brothers. But let's not get it twisted. Tommy is someone who's very much capable of making his own moves and decisions, and he's capable of thinking 3 moves ahead. There's been plenty of examples in Power, for example the Milan kill, and Jason Michich, he even saw something in Tommy. But let me play you something Joseph Sikora said.
Will Tommy be as reckless as he has been? That's a really good question. Tommy won't be quite as reckless, but he'll still be reckless. He's still Tommy. But he has had to learn finesse now that he's going at it alone. And also, we've seen a bit of an evolution of Tommy, because now that Ghost is gone, and now that Kanan is gone in his life, he had some of that. That was the extra muscle and the extra brains, and now Tommy's going to have to go that alone if he wants to survive.
So Tommy's lost the brains who are Kanan and Ghost, and now he's going to be forced to making these decisions himself. And he's going to have to do it if he wants to make it as the biggest drug dealer in Chicago. But it doesn't mean that he won't be cancelling Christmas, because there's going to be plenty of that. He's already teased that he's going to be smoking someone in the first episode, and it's not a Power premiere without a death. He teased that Tommy didn't want to kill this person, but he felt he had to. It was either him or Tommy, and we all know how that ends. So we're going to see Tommy quickly finding himself making some new enemies in Chicago, and 3 to be precise, if we were going by what he said in the trailer to Diamond Samson. And that's because there are some old ties with the Serbs in Chicago, because that's where Jason Michich was based, so I'm thinking the Serbs could definitely play a part at some point. But Tommy's gonna have to make his mark in Chicago pretty much straight away. He's gonna come across Simon McDougal, and he's gonna have Christmas cancelled for him, especially with how Vic and Simon seem to be attacking Tommy in this scene. Now Tommy's gonna be crossing paths with both Jannard and Vic Flynn, and he's gonna take their money and drugs. So let's say Tommy's gonna make his presence felt in Chicago pretty much straight away. and he's going to be making some new enemies because people won't like how Tommy is coming to Chicago and basically wants every single last dollar until he's running Chicago. Now Vic Flynn, he is definitely someone who I think is going to have beef with Tommy in the long term, because when Tommy meets Walter Flynn, Walter's going to see himself in Tommy. He's definitely an old head who seems like he's probably been through hell, just like Tommy. Tommy's been through hell and back and he's come out on the other side, but Walter Flynn taking a liking to Tommy, this is going to cause an issue with his son Vic. So we see Tommy taking 2 shots at Vic, telling him the next 2 are going to go straight in his head. And this is power, this is classic Tommy. He isn't in Chicago just to bury some old wounds with his family, he's here to take over. And Walter Flynn will probably give him the opportunity and platform to do this, as well as probably Diamond Samson, because in the trailers and teasers that have been released, we're going to see Tommy bumping into Diamond. He's someone who's fresh out of the joint, and he's someone who was born and grew up in the streets of Chicago. So he's going to be thinking, who's this fucking Tommy Egan coming into my city, taking my shit from my brother? But having said that, I do think he's going to take a liking to Tommy because the balls that Tommy shows, and I can see them working together. Because Tommy's going to sandwich himself between Jannard and Diamond's crew and the Flynn family. He's going to have the power to bring them together, but also break them. And that's what Tommy can do as a free agent. And with Diamond just coming out of prison, things ain't exactly going to be the same compared to when he went inside. He may think he could use Tommy, but as Tommy told us in the trailers and teasers, he's a free agent. He won't be as loyal to the Flynn family or Diamond and Jannard. He's going to be loyal to himself. But someone else Tommy's going to meet is Gloria. Now Tommy seems like he's going to be meeting Gloria at a bar, where she takes a liking to Tommy, but the issue with Tommy is, it's never ended well for his 2 previous love interests, which were Lakeisha and Holly. Now, hopefully it is third time lucky for Tommy, but it's not been that long since he lost Lakeisha, and the way he lost Lakeisha will still be with him. He's hurting because we see him looking at Lakeisha and Cash in the trailer, and the biggest issue for Tommy is, he's been through a lot, not just with Lakeisha and Holly, but everything. He's been betrayed, he's lost loved ones, he lost his brother, and he's lost everything he had in New York. So I do think it's going to be hard for him to love again, because this was someone he was about to propose to. He bought a house, he bought a ring, and he was about to build a new life with Lakeisha and Cash. So he's definitely got this void to fill, and Gloria seems like she's going to fill this void for Tommy in his life, because when she meets Tommy, it's going to cause a quick shift in her life. But this isn't Tommy's only love interest. It does seem like he's going to be playing the game when it comes to Claude Flynn. But is their relationship going to be real, or is Claude Flynn just using Tommy to get what she wants, and that's power? Because Tommy can certainly help her achieve this. Now Claude also digs chicks, so again, I do think she's someone who'll be loyal to herself, and Tommy needs to watch out for Claude, because she'll be there to make a name for herself. Now Tommy's also going to be meeting a few others while he's in Chicago. He'll be meeting D-Mac and he'll take him under his wing, be his mentor and this father figure type of character for D-Mac, because that's what he's been missing all his life. JP Gibbs as well, who's a gifted jazz musician, who's the subject of a lot of gang attacks at his bar, reminiscent of our Ghost Father's bar, always used to be targeted by gang members. So this actually brings me on to something that Joseph Sikora teased about Ghost returning. Will he be returning alive, or could he be returning in hallucinations and flashbacks, or a dream sequence that Tommy has? I really do think there's going to be a lot of backstory that's going to be explained in the full form of flashback scenes, because this is Tommy's story, not Ghost's. And if we do see these hallucinations, flashbacks, or dreams, we could very well see Ghost, because Ghost was a huge part of his past. But what about Kanan? Because Kanan was also a huge part of Tommy's past, and we've seen him appear in hallucination scenes for Tariq 3 times in Power Book 2 Ghost Season 2 already. So could we see him appear in Tommy's hallucinations at some point in Power Book 4 Force? And with that being said, that's the breakdown of Tommy's past, present, and future, and what Chicago has in store for him. So drop me all your comments down below as Tommy begins a new journey, a journey without Ghost. Drop all your thoughts down below. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 4 Force and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.